Good morning, all you crazy, wonderful people out there who are trying to. Okay, last night I did my first ever live on a Saturday night, Brisbane time, that is, just to see how it would go. So if you do live around Europe time zones, which would be probably 10 hours forward would be my time, please let me know if you're around and you want me to do that more often, okay? So today it's 9 a.m. here, Brisbane time. Beautiful, going to be a hot day again, so I'm glad I'm here before it gets too hot so I can go and get into lesser clothes later and die with the air conditioner on. So today I'm going to do more tarot, more psychic readings. So if you do want me to give you answers to any of your psychic questions, please ask them as a comment, okay? I'm also going to be giving away free copies of my book today, yes, because Psychics Explained is now on the Lulu bookstore, which means it is in global distribution all across places like Booktopia and Amazon Kindle, etc. So that book is called Psychics Explained. What it does is it shows the scientific formulations and theories as to how psychic abilities occur, because the more we realize that psychic abilities are real, the more we trust it and the more we become psychic. It's all innate, guys, through our brain, okay? Or should I say our consciousness, which is natural, okay? So today, I'm going to be pulling some cards and I'm also going to be answering your live questions. So please come on board, comment your questions. You know, my lady, she loves yes and no answers. Okay, so if you ask something like, will I get another job in the next 6 months? She'll say yes or no, okay? And then I repeat that because I'm her receiver. I receive her messages and then I relay them to the person, okay? Today I'm going to do, hey, James Cole, you made it. Yes, thank you so much for being here live. I saw your comment just before about how you sort of missed me last night. Oh, well, too bad, too sad. You're here today. Don't worry about what happens in the past, okay? So we've also got Joanne Powell here. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. So if you do want me to answer any questions today, all you got to do is comment. I've already commented my Lulu is my first comment that I've put up there. That will take you over to all my books if you'd want to buy other books that I've got. I am going to give away free copies today of Psychics Explained. The next comment that I put there is if you wish to support my channel. You know, I hate asking for donations, but everything is energy, which is ultimately a frequency, which is currency, right? So if you do get some information today and you think, wow, that was valuable to me, value equals currency. So there's my PayPal link if you like me today. Jay Carroll, thank you so much for being here. Hi, Carol. Okay, Jay Carroll. Should I sell my house and relocate in the first half of next year? I'm glad you put that bit of next year in there. Because if your question would be, should I just sell my house and relocate? The answer is no. But because you've said the first half of next year, go for it, okay? I would suggest that you list it towards the end of January. Get over the Christmas period because who likes buying houses over Christmas anyway? But what we're finding all over the globe right now, because I do keep an eye on economies and financial situations, house prices skyrocketed and now they're tumbling like you would not believe. Here in Australia, my local area is Brisbane, so I keep an eye on our market here. And houses, 6-8 months ago, a house that was $300,000, it went up to $600,000, and now it's down to $450,000. So it's already lost $150,000 in only like 3 weeks. So by the next couple of weeks, because of Christmas coming up in 4 or 5 weeks, house prices will tumble. So I would like you to get the best option for your house, obviously. So look at selling it late January into February. Okay. Now I have on here Mrs. Q. Yay, I finally caught you live. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, I love sharing my energy, so I'm sharing it all too. Yes, up through the phone. Okay, Joanne Powell, will my job change very soon? I'm saying no. You got to look at how you worded that, Joanne. Very soon. No is the answer. Okay, thank you too, J. Carroll. So I'm seeing it may change, but just be patient. Now, if anyone did catch my live that I did last night on Saturday at 6 p.m., I did a live last night, Saturday time, Brisbane time. The cards were saying patience is what we need right now. Processes are changing. Laws are modifying. New bills in the USA are all getting blip, blip, blip and rehashed, etc. So what is happening is that we need to be patient. I look at it like a horse race. You get all the horses, they're all excited because the jockeys get on the horses. They're all lined up in their little stalls and they're waiting for that go bell. They're sitting there, they're biting at the bit, that bit that goes through their mouth. They're ready, they're wanting to go. And as soon as that bell goes, they all run at 10,000 miles an hour. We've got to be sitting there on the horse ready for that bell, okay? So it's a big patience game at this point in time, okay? Miss Q, will everything be okay with my daughter? Her relationship recently just ended and she's devastated. Mrs. Q, because I just saw Will there as well, so Quill. It is hard when we break up from somebody. Look at me. I've had 2 divorces, and my daughter's father and I were engaged. So I actually say, out of respect for my daughter, I say that we were married because we were engaged. So I've actually gone through 3 divorces in my life. It is horrible, okay? But we have to sit there and remind ourselves that we've made the best decision for us and those that we love, okay? I always say there is never a good time to stay in a bad situation, okay? If things aren't going well, they cause us stress, which ultimately makes us sick, then that is the time to get out, okay? I banged my head against the wall repeatedly every single day with my first husband, trying to make him understand what he could be doing to improve himself. He didn't want to know. He had other girlfriends on the side, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to tell you about the abuse that I had with my first husband. So I got out of that situation, okay? Then I'd already met my second husband. I went over to America, and look what he did. He absolutely annihilated me to the point where I died. And that's why, here's my book, 5 Years in Heaven, because he found me lifeless and blue in the toilet. So how long had I already been dead? Because it was 2:00 in the morning. I could have already been there for half an hour. Then he ran back, got the phone, called 000. So they're saying from that time when he called 000 until the paramedics arrived 14 minutes later, that's what they classify it as 14 minutes clinically dead. So should have I stayed in that situation? No. Learned from. Because if I had not had this experience, I certainly would not be here now, being as a psychic, telling people how to be better, angelic, soul level attributes, etc. in our lives, okay? So she's devastated. Of course she is, Mrs. Q. She will be devastated. But the more she tells herself, I did the right thing, my life is going to get better, every day is an improvement from now on, her life will get better, okay? And the good thing is, she's got you as your support, yes? And I'm sure she's got other people too. Oh, there are people out there judging her. I will go there because I'm sensing that. But don't listen to those judging. Listen to the ones who are supportive. That's what she needs to do. Sue McCarthy, morning, Dr. Linda. Thank you so much, Sue, for being here. Vicky Light, 11. Hello, Linda from Montreal, Quebec. Thank you so much for being here. I know you're Quebec. Oh, where are you? 12, 16 hours behind me, so it's Saturday night for you over there. I'm sure it's getting chilly over there because it's so hot here in Australia. So thank you so much for joining me. James Cole, poor you. James, don't ever say that. Every single day I say to myself, thank you. I am so grateful for all the bad I went through because it taught me how to be a better person. It's true. You know, I was actually just I'm doing my next book. It's called Spirit Guides and Life Paths Explained. It's a doozy. I think this is even better than this one. Okay? It's a doozy, this book. I will be giving away free copies, okay? But I'm writing this one at the moment because I see spirit guides, okay? Let me just grab my folder because I'm adding photos of spirit guides that I've really seen. So this will get some hype up for my new book, okay? One lady, a Chinese bride came through, okay? Another lady, her spirit guide was an 8-year-old Irish lass. So I draw the pictures. One lady had this European lady came through. That's her spirit guide, okay? Then we have the classic monks, okay? So a monk can be our spirit guide, okay? Let me just find some of the animals because I'm a hopeless drawer. But here's one, a lion with black points on the end. So he came through one day. I had a brown bear came through one day. Not to mention I've also had a pterodactyl in my backyard. So I see spirit guides. So I always say if you do want a private session where I see your own spirit guide and I show you what they are and I Google pictures so they look similar. If you do want a session with me, because I don't only do it as sessions because I need to see you and get consent, etc. But if you do want your spirit guide, please contact me. My email is in there. I'll put my email here. It is Linda@LindaRay. And just say, hey, can we please organize a session where you can tell me what I spelt it wrong again. I did that last night too. So it's Linda@LindaRay.info. There you go. So there's the real one, Linda@LindaRay.info. Email me and say, please, can we organize a session? Now, please know it takes a lot of energy work to do this. It's like connecting with a deceased relative. So please make a donation, and I also give you my PayPal link as well to make a donation towards my cause. I always say, pay what you can afford, okay? Some people can afford a lot more than others, and I don't judge, okay? If you turn around and say, well, I can't afford anything, but can you do it anyway? Generally, I do, okay? Because I try to help everybody, all righty? So let's just go back. James says, God, I'm glad you made it. Thank you, James. You know, I love the work I do, and I wouldn't be able to do it unless I get those confirmations from them. Them. Okay? All righty. So, Esther, hello. Thank you so much for being here this morning, Esther. Now, Tracy Bennett. My God, Tracy, hello. Good morning to you. Gorgeous. Just returned from a perfect birthday weekend on the South Coast. Can you see our forever home on the horizon or making adjustments to our present home? Wow, yeah, I know. You've actually got another move before your forever home, darling. So where you are now, you're going to move again, and then you'll be in your forever home. Sorry to give you that news, but that's what she's telling me as of today. Okay, so let's just do a little bit of development now. What do I mean when I say today? Because fate and other occurrences, coincidences, well, there's no coincidences ever, synchronicities occur every single day. I could tell someone right now today, get in your car, drive up to your news agency. I can see that you're going to put in a lotto and you'll win $1 million. But they get in their car and then they get stopped at a red light. So they do a process. Or they get there and there's somebody else in the queue before them so they don't get that winning ticket. So from right now, I see that that is a possibility of a future event. Now, funny thing, only the Friday night, we had Men in Black 3 on TV. I love that one. That's probably my favorite of all the Men in Black movies because of the character called Griffin. Griffin is a character who's from some alien world that's now destroyed. He's the last one of his kind. He sees future possible scenarios, which means nothing is set. There is fate, but every second that occurs, fate can change the outcome of situations. So I love that Griffin character out of Men in Black 3. Oh, that is such a, yeah, and they drop this stuff into movies. Have you noticed? They drop truths. Okay. All right, so let's just keep going. Can I have a read on finances? Yes, you can, Esther. Please ask me a question. Okay. Ask me a question. So my lady here, she loves yes and no questions. I've got a picture of her, my lady. So I like showing her. As I talk about her in my book, 5 Years in Heaven. When I died, I went to heaven for 5 years. Okay. I was at the pool. I was in the pool's like this deep. So it's about 4.5 foot or whatever it is because I'm 5'7". So the water comes up to about here. And I'm doing my trying to be cool but trying to not drown type waddle through the water. And it's a 50-meter pool and they have like buoys floating, like lane floaties going down. So I'm going down this lane trying to bop and act like cool. I'm in my 50s. I'm trying not to look bad in the water. And I heard my name yell out, Linda. But it was Linda! So I've turned around and I'm looking at the people sitting on the bleachers, looking into the pool. It wasn't them. There were some other people in the water. It wasn't them. They weren't paying attention to me. So as I looked around further, all the way back into my lane, I turned around and I saw this. Now, there was no water around her. I could see, the water should have been up to here, but there was no water in the lane, and it was all energy coming out of her. And she said to me, "Are you ready?" And I'm like, "What for?" What? And it was the week after that I started seeing spirit guides. Okay, so I got upgraded. Yes. Okay, so she's always with me. So please ask your questions. Okay. So Esther, please ask your comment. Okay, Joanne Power, will I go back to the USA? Wow, Joanne, what a connection you have to the USA. Okay, I am seeing that you are trying to get there. I would wait, though, at least another 10 months, if that makes sense. Why 10 months? So where are we? November, October, September. So that'll be September next year. September, October. Yeah, that's September next year. Geez, I'm glad I can do my months in reverse. So September next year, I can see that there is a possibility where you can be going over there then. And I don't know what the situation is for, but there is something around that time, probably from August to October. There'll be a reason why you've got to be there. Okay? Now, Kristen, I'm starting to get a very faint tickle that will happen around my ankles. Sorry, because I just felt it. So I'm looking at my own ankles. When it happens, I notice what I'm doing and that very moment. Could this be a nudge from my guardian angel? And if so, what could it be? Okay. I always say when things happen to particular body parts, that's a message. Okay? If we hurt our head, that means stop thinking, because our thinking is associated to our brain. Stop thinking for a while. Just relax and chill. If we hurt our hands, that's our doing. So our work is our hands. So if ever we hurt our hands, that means take some time off and go on a holiday. If we hurt our feet, that general sign is slow down. Stop doing as much. Like it could be like voluntary work, going and see your neighbors every day. Slow down. Look after yourself. Okay? So that's what I'd take this one as, Kristen T. Okay? Guardian angels, as well as our spirit guides, even our deceased loved ones, can all give us weird and wonderful sensations to give us messages, okay? And the biggest messages are always from ourself first. So if you're getting tingles around your ankle, I would be suggesting that you look at any swelling that you may have, water retention, because I'm actually seeing you could have a little bit of water retention in there too, darling. How many times a day do you put your feet up? Now, when we say put your feet up, it means put your feet above your bum, the bottom of your torso. So you've got to have your feet above your torso, okay? How many times a day do you do that? Some people, when they go to bed, they put a brick under the end of their bed. So the bed is lifted at the bottom, so their feet are higher than their heads when they sleep. And that's actually really good for circulation. I'm not saying to do it because I always say go and see a medical doctor. I am not a medical doctor. I have a PhD, which means I am a doctor, like Dr. Sheldon Cooper on Big Bang, okay? So go and see a medical doctor and just confirm it, but I'm seeing that you may have some water retention there, okay, that's giving you those little things as well, okay? James Cole, you're taller than me. Yeah, well, I'm 5'7". My daughter, oh my God, itchy nose, she's 16 now. Where does the time go? She's 6'1" now. I'm a size 8 shoe. She's a size 12. I bred a little giant. That's what I've done. She's one of the tallest kids at the school, and she's still got 2 years to go. My God, I look up at her. Yeah, she breaks my neck again. See, I make a joke of it because I've got a broken neck, right? You got to remember, I've got a broken neck. C2, C3 are not connected in my neck, right? I should be a quadriplegic, and this is why I teach how to heal ourselves, okay? It's in my books. All right, if you want to heal yourself, if you've got an ailment, injury, or an illness that you're trying to get rid of, we can do this because I've got a broken neck. I've also I had a brain tumor. I cured my own brain tumor, okay? So let's just go through some more of this. Vicky Light says, if I ask my spirit guide, will I get upgraded to being clairaudient? You need a copy of my book. All right, so let's go there. Who wants a free copy of my book, Psychics Explain? I'll tell you first, it goes into all the scientific formulations. So things like thermodynamics, you know, those hot and cold spots that we feel? It goes into that. It goes into string theory, how we have dimensions and vortexes. It goes into quantum mechanics and all those wonderful things that just go straight over our heads. Then I go into all the psychic abilities that we have, okay? It explains what each one is. So you might say, oh my God, that's what I do. I didn't know that's what it was called. So I explain it and I give examples in there of when I've actually used those abilities, okay? Then I go into all the tools and techniques and development, how to be a psychic, how to switch them all on, how to turn it off if you don't like it anymore, okay? There's also some other tools and stuff in there too about raising your vibration as well. So it's a very, very educational book. It's about 127 pages, okay? So if anybody wants a copy, here comes my email address again. It is linda@lindaray.info. There it is. I've just commented it. You've got to do it while we're live. So I'm going to be here for about another 35, 40 minutes. So if you want a free book of my Psychics Explained book, go over now and email me. So when I get off in about 45 minutes or so, I can email it to you then, okay? And you get a PDF for free. If you go over to Lulu, the PDF's about $25 Australian, okay? But I've also got my other links in there too where you can go and buy my books because I've got the 5 Years in Heaven, which is all about my near-death experience. This picture here is my live review when I was in front of these 3 people, entities, energies, beings. So I explain it all in there. Look how thick it is, okay? That's on there. I've also got Ghosts Explained, which goes into why ghosts stay, the psychology of the ones who know that they've died and the ones that don't know they've died, what they can and can't do, okay? I explain there's common asked questions that ghosts ask us because I talk to ghosts every day. So I've got the common asked questions that we can ask a ghost Are You Aware You're Dead is one of the ones that we don't ever ask a ghost, just in case they don't know that they're dead. So I explain it all in that book. That's on Lulu now for about $25 for the PDF. And now I've also got Psychics Explained if you want to go and get that book as well. Okay. So Vicky, anyone else who wants a free copy, please email me now. I do put my PayPal link in there just in case you do want to pay me some dollars towards it. So there you go. Do you ever see evil spirits? Mrs. Q, yes, I do. On my YouTube channel, scroll through. I've got about 200 videos there. I really should set up some playlists. So if you just want ghost videos, you'll see them all. If you just want heaven videos, they'll all come up. Okay. I've got to get to that at some point now that I've got about 200 videos out. I have seen some really nasty ones. You know, people ask me, have I ever been punched? Yes, I've been punched. Yes, I've been kicked. Yes, I've been pushed downstairs. I've even had a car engine thrown at me one night. It came about 50 foot through the air, a car engine. So I've got a video about ghost interaction, the car engine. That's on there, one of the videos. So I teach people how to put up protection. I teach people how to put up boundaries and rules using salt. And that's in Psychics Explained as well. How to protect ourselves, how to put up our boundaries like salt, saging, what it does for us. Okay, a lot of people don't realize sage cleans out energy. It does not ever get rid of entities. There's a big difference between energy and entities. If you've got a bad entity, doing all your saging and all your salt work will never evict them because they have their free will to stay because they're intelligent entities. Bad energy, you know how you walk into a room at night and you just know someone's had a fight in that room? You go to someone's house, someone's beeping a horn outside my house. I hope no one's at my house. You know when you go to like your neighbour's house, you just walk in and you just feel that energy that they've had a fight? That's what sage gets rid of, okay? Okay, James Cole, watch them all. Oh, you're so sweet, James. Your airplane one is classic. I know. So for those who don't know, I survived a plane crash, okay? I was doing a flight from Brisbane to Los Angeles, and I had a layover in Narita in Japan. So coming into Narita, we went into I think it was a Category 3 typhoon. The captain came over and just before he came over, I heard my lady say to me, buckle up. This lady who's always with me, she said, buckle up. And I thought, what? So again, she said, buckle up. So I'm looking around, everyone's asleep or reading their books or whatever they're doing on an airplane. And I thought, if something's going on, I need to go to the toilet. So I went to the toilet. You know, they're like this big, the little cubicles on planes. She comes through the door, buckle up, and then she disappears. I thought, wow, I've really got to buckle up. So I went back to my seat, put on my seatbelt. Just as I was pulling it tight, the captain came over and said, we're going into some turbulent weather. Turbulent weather was going up 1,000 feet and dropping 600 feet. We lost 2 engines because we had fire on the plane. We lost both engines because there was fire on the wing. When we landed, we should have died because the plane nearly rolled. So I explained it in one of my videos about a plane crash. So there you go, James Cole. Thank you so much for the plane crash. That is a classic one. I talk about when I broke my neck. I was driving 200 miles to work because I'd come down to see my family. So early morning, I was driving back to work where I used to live, and my back tire blew, and I drove into a bridge, a concrete bridge. My radiator was 3 inches from the steering wheel. How did I not die in that crash? My whole car was only about 3 or 4 foot wide. But I'll tell you what happened. Just before impact, I saw a hand. That's who it was, her. My door opened and I got thrown out of the vehicle. My head hit the road and I broke my neck. Stupid me didn't know that at that time. But a car following me, they came up and they said, oh my God, where's the other passenger? I said, I was traveling alone. No, the guy said. We've been following you for half an hour. There's been 2 people in that car. We were watching you both in the car. Where's the passenger? So she was with me for about half an hour before the crash. Okay, I should get into some tarot, shouldn't I? Let's go there. So sent you an email with a message. Thank you so much, Joanne. Oh, I love it when people let me know that I've got emails there. So some other people, Vicky, if you email me as well, darling girl, I'll certainly give you a copy of my book today. Okay, anybody else live today? If you do want a copy of my book, Psychics Explained, please email me. I've got the blue banner there around my name. Linda at Linda Ray is my email. So let's go over to my lovey-dovey cards. I love these little guys. They're so cute. Carol, you missed a question from Esther above. Oh, thank you so much, J. Carol. Okay, Esther, can you please tell me how my finances will be going in the future? Yes. Please elaborate, okay? Please elaborate. Esther, if you do want me to answer privately, please email me and I will definitely go further into it with you privately, okay? No one really likes publicly talking about money situations, okay? So if you email me, I can give you a copy of my book if you want it. So please ask for that if you want it. And be more specific, okay? Because that's what she's saying. She's saying be more specific. Is it finances? Like, am I investing in Bitcoin? Should I invest in this business? Should I spend my money buying diamond rings and hats? Those sort of questions, okay? You'd be surprised how many people just ask me that. Should I buy diamond rings? And then they've got diamonds and the gold, okay? All right. Maybe the next year. Okay, so Vicky Lights just sent me an email too. Okay, so let's just get into my tarot for today. Yesterday was, oh, look, I've already got it. Now, look, here it is because it's upside down in the pack, okay? It's this one. All right, thank you so much for giving me that straight away. All right, so let's get into this one. Love would make sure everyone had enough food to eat. Now, what this card means, love would make sure everyone had enough food to eat. This doesn't mean stockpile food, but it does. Next year, I will tell you guys, next year is going to be a doozy. I don't know if you just saw the Australian elections, but we've got the same premier who just put people into lockdown for 365 days. It's the same premier who told the police to go out and virtually annihilate the civilians. There's masses of footage out there. There's heaps of videos of police. I can't say the word, but it's brew and mentality, okay? There's heaps of videos out there. This guy just got re-elected. Do you think that wasn't planned? Okay? You know, the old fishing rigs? Okay? Who would vote to go through all that again? Because I will tell you, it's coming again, guys. So my first thing is stockpile food, okay? Stockpile food. Get your toilet rolls together, okay? I'm honest. Why do you think I've now got this table behind me? Because underneath that table, I'm stockpiling food and toilet rolls, okay? I've got 200 toilet rolls already stored up. Not that I'm just going in and buying all the ones that are there, okay? I'm not that greedy. But when I do my shopping, instead of getting one, I get 2. So for the past 3 months, I've always been buying 2 because I've got elderly relatives, I've got other people that I know who won't be stockpiling stuff, and they're the first ones that are going to say, oh my God, I'm out of toilet rolls, so I can say, here's a batch for you, okay? So they're not just for me. Kristen, besides PayPal, is there another option to send you some money? I do have a bank account. Okay, but if you do privately email me, I can give you my bank account. If you're overseas, I can also give you that SWIFT code that you'll need to do international transfers into the bank, okay? So, but I don't give out my bank account information just to everybody, just in case I get hacked. So please email me, Kristen, and I'll send those details over to you, okay, with that SWIFT international code that you'll need for international transfers, all right? So otherwise, if you're in Australia, yes, I can send you my BSB account number, okay? Easy breezy. Okay, love would make sure everyone has enough food to eat. Okay, let's go there. When we look at food to eat, this is survival. So it doesn't mean just make sure that you give dinner to everybody. It could be blankets. It could be love, nurturing, and support that we give to other people as well. Look at what the last 2 years has created for mental health. If you do struggle, I always say, please go and see a professional doctor, okay, a medical doctor, and talk to them, okay? Talk to your friends, talk to me. I love getting my emails of a morning. This morning I hardly had any because I was doing so many lives last night that I got through my emails last night. So this morning I only had about 8 emails there, but generally I wake up with about 50 emails and I like replying to every single one of them. If I don't reply, please know that I've still read it, okay? So, Sue McCarthy, I sent you an email. Can't wait. Yes, oh, good girl. Okay. So, yeah, people are emailing me today for my free book. It's called Psychics Explain. All you got to do is email me. Scroll up through the comments. You'll see the big blue tag there, Dr. Linda Kramer. There's my email address, okay? I do put in my PayPal link just in case you do want to throw me a couple of dollars to support my channel and my work, okay? Love would make sure everyone had enough to eat, okay? Yesterday, I got the message of patience, but today it's looking after others, because don't ever assume we know what they're going through. Everyone's had it rough. Everyone's angry. Everyone's getting conceited. That's the word I'd use. So I'm glad that I've got Psychics Explained out now. My next book, oh my God, I'm so excited for this one, Spirit Guides Explained. I go through life lessons. We all, if you Google what are life lessons, it comes up with corporate government, what they want us to know, how to get on with your co-workers, that sort of stuff. But real life lessons, which we go through in heaven, okay, when we're in heaven, our life lessons are all the attributes of how we are in heaven. So if we want to go to heaven, which I please say I hope that you do want to go to heaven, right? How do we act like we're angelic or solistic now? So when we go to heaven, it's a really good process. And going through our life review, because this is my life review, it sucked. I remember pulling the tail of the cat and I became the cat, so I felt that pain, and it's tenfold. And it sucked. It was so horrendous. I was bawling my eyes out. Okay, and I was sitting there thinking, my God, why did I hurt that cat? Why did I hurt that cat for? I know it was only in jest. I just thought it was fun, but why did I do it? So we learn now how to be angelic. So we look at our life lessons: consideration, kindness, generosity, forgiveness. Oh, what a doozy. So I explain all these in Psychics Explained. So then we're raising up our vibration when we use these attributes. So I've got exercises in there. How to be more considerate. How to be more kind. How to be more grateful. So then we can say, okay, now I want to be that person. So when I did my live last night, I actually went over to page 255. Here it is. In my book, the second part is the teachings of heaven. And here on page 255, I go into changing negativity into positives. And there's 3 ways. Look, I've got the book open here. There's 3 ways of doing this. First one is to identify a behavior that we no longer want. So let's just go like last night I was talking about sarcasm and gossiping. So, a friend came to me one time and she said, geez, Linda, do you realize that you actually do gossip? This was years ago, by the way. And I thought, really? So I started watching how I spoke. And I thought, my God, when I spoke to this girl, I told her all about that girl, what she was doing. I'm a gossiper. Oh, my God. I didn't even realize I was doing it. So thank you to that friend who pointed that out. So the first rule of learning how to change negativity into a positive, we've got to identify the behavior that we're doing. And then we've got to accept it. I accept that I used to be a gossiper. I don't want to be a gossiper anymore. So I'm so grateful that I was doing that behavior. So now I'm learning the life lesson of how not to be a gossiper. I'm going to become a complimenter instead. Okay? So we create is the third rule. Look, it's here in my book, right? So you identify, then we accept, and then we create. So I created this thing within me where I was going to say, instead of gossiping, I'm now going to compliment people. So whenever I see somebody or talking to them on the phone or whatever, I will give people compliments, because the more we compliment people, we're creating that raising your vibration, raising our frequency or our currency, right? Then it comes out of us, because this is science, a pheromone, which is a chemical released from our body, a pheromone, right? We create that so it spreads out, and then other people detect that pheromone and it attaches to them. So then they have this higher frequency as well. Oh, I love talking about this stuff. So I talk about it in my book, 5 Years in Heaven. Now, this is on Lulu, okay? I've also talked about it in Psychics Explained, okay? And now I'm talking about it again in my new book, Spirit Guides and Life Paths Explained. Okay, so my next book is Spirit Guides. So if you do want to know what your spirit guide is, please email me, and I'm going to have to organize a session through Zoom or Skype or video phone or whatever we do, right? Because it does take energy. I don't do it without consent, and I like talking to the person as well. So when I draw the spirit guide, which I showed the pictures of before, I can then Google it and we discuss what that person or animal means. Okay? All right, so let's go there. I had the pterodactyl in my backyard. I had a 60-foot pterodactyl dinosaur turn up in my backyard, and how it arrived was simply the man who came and saw me that day. All he said was, "Can you tell me what my spirit guide is?" In flew this huge 30-foot wings on both sides. It came down and it landed in my backyard, and the wings went up over the fence on both sides of my property. It was massive. Where he was sitting on a 3-seater chair, and this huge beast put its beak, because pterodactyls have this big beak like an alligator type thing. He put his beak on the chair where this man was sitting. So he was behind the man. And I looked at this pterodactyl and I'm like, crickets. Elevator music. I was thinking, what do I say? And I just looked at it and I said, wow, you've got an amazing beak. Because it's this 3-foot beak. It looked straight at me. I opened its beak like this, and I could see the back of its tongue. It looked straight at me and it said, "I do not have a beak. I have a spout." Okay. I just got a real humble little lesson there, didn't I? How to be humbled. So this pterodactyl started talking to me in English, okay? Telling me all about this guy that I'd never seen before. Tell him that I helped him do this. I'm here to be this quality, because our spirit guides bring out our best. So if we need to be more brave, more courageous, they put us into these opportunities where we get tested to see if we're going to be brave, okay? So that's what they do, okay? James, yeah, I talk about my pterodactyl in my book, Spirit Guides and Life Paths Explained. It's nearly finished, by the way, because it's just flowing out of me. So hopefully in about 2 weeks, when I do my live, I'll be going, who wants a free copy of my new Spirit Guide book? I can't wait. So if you do want to know what your Spirit Guide is, please email me, okay? Because I don't do this stuff for free, okay? I give away books for free, but whenever I do sessions with people, obviously there has to be a payment there because it's my time and effort, okay? So, yep, J. Carroll, that video was hilarious. Okay, thank you so much. So, guys, please know I've got about 200 videos now. please go and watch them. They're all on this channel, okay? Please subscribe, okay? Get my view hours up because, hello, I really, really, really want to get to the point where I can monetize this channel. Okay, so let's now go and get another tarot card, okay? Last night's card, if you watched it, it was the Devil. It should be still, yeah, it's still here on the top. That's the card I pulled last night. Oh, so let's just put him back into the deck. Hopefully we don't get the same card, right? So one card that we need for everybody watching today, a message that we all need today. All right, so here I am shuffling. The way I do this, guys, is that I just shuffle until they, oops, see, one just flew out. So let me just put these up here so we know that it is only one card. And it is only one card. Dum, da, da, dum, I've got him. Okay. James, hope mine is a cutie. They're all cuties, okay? They're all cuties, James. So if you do want to know, email me, okay? We can organise a session for you. I only say to people, please pay what you can afford, okay? So let me get into my book. Okay, I've got my card for today. Let's see what this one means for all of us. Oh, I'm just looking for it. Where am I going? Knight. Okay, I've got a knight here today. Not day, I've got a knight. K-N-I-G-H-T. Okay, the one I've got is the Knight of Wands. Here he is, riding on his horse. Look at him in his armour. What a lovely card, probably because it's all red. Have you noticed I love the colour red? Okay, so it's the Knight of Wands. So let's have a look. Okay, as an event, okay, the Knight of Wands sets out with confidence. He tends to bring swift movement to matters with high energy, okay? So this is getting things done card, okay? Now, last night I know that I had the patience card, but even when we're waiting for things to happen, we can still make things happen. Know what I mean? Just because we're waiting on a job application to be approved, so we start a new job, we can always go out and start doing things to, like fixing up our house so we can do that before we start work, etc. Okay? So as an event, this card says the Knight of Wands almost always shows when someone is about to change residence. Now, who was it just before that said, am I going to change my residence? Interesting. Do. May also signify a long journey being taken. Now, somebody said, will I ever go back to the USA? Funny that. See? And you got to remember, how did I ask for this card? I said, give me a card that everybody's watching needs to hear today. There you go. You got your card, right? As always, look for supporting cards. Well, yeah. The energy of this night tends to make clients feel that they must act quickly, as it is a high level of creative energy, but they must not, in their haste, forget to check all the details first. So I am going to incorporate last night's card that I got, which was the patience card. Okay. We must, when we're making haste to create new energies like work or situations in our life, we've got to remember, check all the dot points, okay? Slow down and be aware of everything that's going on. Don't just rush into things and say, oh, yeah, this is the best deal ever, because you'll miss things and it could be something that turns out to be really bad for us, okay? All right. I had a friend, she actually invested $100,000 in a man who said, oh, yeah, all this stuff's going to happen. 3 years later, she hasn't received any of her money back. So $100,000 she lost. Okay. So we must always check the dot points. We must always go slow and pause. Calculate, is this really good in my higher good? And I even speak about my higher good in this spirit guidebook that I'm bringing out shortly. So there's the Knight of Wands for us, okay? Now, let me also pull out, let me see. No more new comments. Okay, so let's now go over to a ruin. If you haven't seen ruins before, they're little stones with little emblems written on them. So I just asked the universe, please give me a stone that I need to be a message for all those watching today, okay? Let's just go there. So I just put my hand in. I always look away. So I've got my little bag of ruins. I go in and I look for one that's hot. I can feel a little hot spot. So I go to the hot. It's right down in there. Him. Oh, okay. Oh, look, the only one that's a different colour. Isn't that funny? And that's the one I got today. Okay, stand out in the crowd. What? I just heard her say stand out in the crowd. This is the time, guys. Don't be one of the sheep. Stand out in that crowd and shine. This is our time to get out there and say, you know what? I'm me. I remember one day I was driving my daughter to school, and the bus stop out on my main road, it's where all the people get on the bus to go into the city. So you can imagine they're all standing there, they're all on their phones, they're all wearing their black corporate clothes. This one girl, she was standing on the bus seat, she had her earpods in, and she's cranking it to her music. Out of all those people, probably 20 people, who was doing life right? Who was the one who did not care about anybody else? Who was the one that day that was going to go to work and have a really good, productive day? Who was the one who's got that confidence? Who's the one who stands out in the crowd? Be that person and shine, okay? Because that's how we share this emotion, which is energy. Oh, I love it. All right, so I'm looking for this symbol. Let me just find him in my ruins. Look, here's my ruins, okay? It's a big book, okay? It's a big book that I've got all the little different ruins. I'm just looking for the one that I've got. It's not you. No, it's just like a little hook. Oh, here he is. Here he is. It's this one. Okay, let me just turn him around so you can see him. It's that one, okay? Let me just bring him in so you can see it. Yep, that's him. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Now, this is called water, okay? Lagoos, a symbol of the ocean used by Nordic peoples to travel and make new discoveries. This is the symbol of adventure, a journey, and a leap of faith. Now, I just got that card, the Knight of Wands. New journeys, going to new lands, new adventures. So this actually is in line with that. I love it when the cards will come together. Okay. So we've got a couple of dot points here. First one is a signal to take a chance and follow your intuition rather than doing what is radical, rational, or logical. So this is where we stand out, guys. Be that shine. And now I know why she said stand out. Okay. Wow. Thank you so much. Yeah, my lady, I've already explained to her who she is. She's in all my books, okay? I explain who she is. Thank you. Okay, next one says, a time to try something new or take an emotional risk. Just remember here, guys, emotions are energy, okay? The more we put energy into something, the more we're putting our emotions into it as well. Okay, last one says, it's a good omen for tackling major changes to lifestyle. It could be career or relationships. Oh, what an interesting week that we're going to have in the next few weeks, eh? Wow, so just remember, guys, I am hearing messages, and I'm going to be honest here. The messages I'm hearing right now is they're going to bring back all the COVID mandates. I hope and pray that you guys are all on the right side of the spiritual war here, and you know the consequences of following those mandates. You know, I've got to be careful because of the guidelines, but let's just say our aura is 1.5 meters wide. We stand more than 1.5 meters. Oh. And it's saying now my connection is unstable. Funny, that one. So when we stand more than 1.5 meters away from somebody else, we're not energetically connecting with them. Are you seeing what I'm talking about? Because I've got to be careful, right? Then we go into isolation. And it's proven now, because this makes my eyes water because it's so sad. When we're in our house and we don't do anything, one, we're not exercising, so we get fatter. Secondly is our mental health goes up. Before all this started, mental health in Australia was 1 in 4. Now it's 4 in 4. Every single person has got a mental health condition. There's no funding for mental health, because they want us living with this. So we fight it. So that's why it's a war. So in every book, I've got raise your vibration exercises. In my book that I've just, even Ghosts Explained, I go into how to talk with ghosts. If you want to see ghosts, what do we have to do to see ghosts and spirits and near deceased loved ones? Okay? In this book I've just put out, which is Psychics Explained, I go into all the techniques, the development, the tools to give us that heightened awareness so then we can be our full potential in a world where they want to drag us down, okay? There are theories out there, conspiracy theories will go and say that there are reptilian species already on Australia. I am not saying I agree or disagree with this, okay? I'm just saying a theory, okay? The theory is that these reptilians they thrive on our negative behaviors. So it's like they get that, it's like their fuel. So they don't physically eat apples, fruits, and vegetables and nuts and stuff like we do, but they eat the energy, which is the emotions that are created through lower vibrations. So when we fight and we scream at someone, yeah, James, I'm not going to say the word, okay, because I don't want to get tagged in any community strikes, okay, because this is just a theory, right? But when we fight with someone, you know how you get really pent up and you just start fuming and you're building all this emotion? No, you're fine, James, okay? So what happens is they feed on it. They love that energy. So when we transfer or transmute that anger into love, and that love emotion, which is an energy force, okay, and we feel it coming out of us like a pheromone, they hate it. It's like kryptonite to Superman. They have to run away. They can't handle